That movie sucked.
I kind of liked it.
Movie Night Crew Network.
Welcome to Of the Eldest Gods, where we discuss Rick Riordan's role as our godly parent.
I'm Ray, I'm from Cabin 12.
And I'm Charlie from Cabin 13, and my dude, we're talking about the boy.
My boy!
The myth, the legend.
I probably shouldn't have just yelled into the mic. This is
boy!
Great. When is the last time that we recorded some shit? It's been a hot
I think
minute.
I think it was like almost exactly a month ago, actually.
Well, no, because we did a bonus episode, but...
Oh, no, I meant the bonus. I think that was like a month ago.
Was it really? God damn.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Time is no good.
Time is an illusion, and so are pants. That is an Avatar quote.
Good. So, you may have already noticed that I sound like shit. I caught COVID over my vacation that I took. So that's why we didn't do an episode that one week. You remember, that was like 2 weeks ago. So...
It's fine.
It's fine. I have a lingering cough, which makes perfect sense. That would happen to me.
Oh.
But we're not here to talk about me.
We're here to talk about our boy Percy Jackson.
I would sing the happy birthday song, but I can't remember if that's still copyrighted. Oh, you know what I can sing? Today it is your birthday and we'll sing to let you know that you will be king for the day. Whatever you say goes. That's from a Barbie film, everyone. That's what I sing to my little sister every year.
I remember you said that on that episode too. And I was just like, wait a second. It's the song. That's from 12 Dancing Princesses.
Indeed.
Oh,
a classic.
Beautiful. I love that. I need that in my life.
I wonder if this podcast has Barbie fandom overlap. I really don't know if that's just us or if there are other Percy Jackson and
fans
Barbie stans
who also love Barbie. I need to know this. Like, I saw that one fan art that I mean, this is going to be a spoilery episode anyway, but...
Right. Warning up front, we're going full spoilers. We're going deep. Character deep dive. That's the whole plan.
Yeah.
There will be spoilers. Maybe we should do, like, an early section that's just the stuff that we've covered so far, and, like, a later section?
Yeah.
I don't know. Okay, yeah. So,
Maybe.
You could keep listening for now.
Yeah.
Except for this part, probably, because Charlie's about to spoil something.
I mean, I can just say that, like, I shared, like, an art to the Discord that was just, like, 3 characters, some of which are from later series, and they were like, 3 tickets for Barbie, please. And it was, like, Percy and 2 others. And I was
love that.
This. I also was just like, this is me, Ray, Ted, and Juice next year.
Hell yeah.
Movie.
Boy!
This is my plan. This is something I need. Anyway, Percy Jackson. Yeah, do we need to talk about just him in the first 2 chapters? 3 chapters.
For one thing, we sort of already covered it. I just re-listened to the recap episode that I did, where I talked about the first 2 books, and I basically just talked about Percy and how much I like him and all of his character shit from those first 2 books.
He's your little meow meow.
He is indeed. I took a few notes,
You took notes. That's so
good.
Well,
I wrote down some thoughts quickly in the 10 minutes before we started this episode.
That's more than I did.
I figure this will be my greatest contribution because, like, I know that you have a better memory for, like, the later shit, and you know what happens beyond where I've read.
It's mostly because I just read up the wikis sometimes in my spare time. That's just a thing that I do for all my fandoms.
That's the way that you hyperfixate, and I love that about you.
Like, as I'm consuming the media, when I'm, like, rewatching or rereading something, I'm just like, wait, this detail, I need to look that up. Mm-hmm. Just for a second, and then I, like, read the entire wiki page, and that's how I spend my day.
So Percy Jackson, he is my son and boy. He has experienced trauma from a very young age. He has had his self-worth basically destroyed by both adults and peers.
Mood.
He has been labeled specifically, in a way that Taylor would hate, as a bad kid.
A troubled teen.
Indeed. He has no consistency or stability in his life. He's constantly moving schools, and so he can't build friendships very easily. He lives with an abusive parent. So this is the setup. And then, once we get into the books...
But also, like, despite all of that shit, he is a cinnamon roll?
Like, yes, okay. He is a delinquent because he's been forced into it. He is a sweet boy. Like...
Yeah, it's because of Sally. Like, if Percy did not have Sally, I think... I've been listening to a lot of Percy Jackson podcasts lately. But, like, a lot of what I've been hearing people say is basically if Percy didn't have Sally, he would be Luke.
That is a hot take. I like that. Yeah.
More of my thoughts there will become spoilery, but I will elaborate on that when we get into more spoiler territory. But just, like, he's grounded.
But Percy has that bitterness in him, but it's cut with this sweetness of his blue candy-coated mother.
He's grounded with someone he loves and that he can come home to.
Yeah.
And, like, that's what you need to, like, you know.
And then we start off the series by ripping that away from him.
Hey, it's fine. He gets her back. But that's why he will do all these things, is because he has someone to fight for.
Yeah, 100%. So we have this kid who's never had any stability in his life, and then we're going to put him in an entirely new situation where he doesn't know the rules and has to adapt quickly or die.
Hey!
It's fucked up that he's 12. We said that a lot last time. But
it's fine. He can adapt well because, you know what? His dad is the water god, so he's very fluid.
Oh yeah. Oh my god. I was gonna say something about, like, I was gonna say, like, some Avatar shit about, like, the nature of water and how it flows, and then you're just making a fucking pun. God damn it.
I mean, that's the point there, is that I'm going for both.
Like, it's both, but...
Both is good. Also, Percy is bisexual, and you can't take that away from me. Literally, I'm gonna cosplay as Percy at a con, and I'm just like, I'm gonna wear a bisexual bracelet, and I'm just gonna wear that in my costume.
Yes. That's perfect. He literally has such bi energy. Yeah. That's a character trait that we can talk about for this episode. That's legitimate of us.
Listen, this is something I didn't think about until, like, that one person asked Rick on Twitter, I don't know, like a year or two ago, hey, do you think that Percy had a crush on Luke? And then I was like, oh, wait, now I'm reading it, and now I'm like, shit. Rick, why did you describe these characters this way? Why do you keep describing these men as attractive in Percy's voice?
You know, sometimes you just notice a dude. Sometimes you notice a guy.
Percy blushing and then Annabeth blushing at Luke, but, like, in the same scene. Like they have the same reaction to Luke in the same scene. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Just something to think about, guys.
But also Percy and Annabeth are both bisexual. And
bi for bi.
They are. Anyway. What are the non-spoiler thoughts?
So to continue with my rant here. So he's placed in this new hyper dangerous situation, but also through this he's able to find stability that he's never had before because he does make friends and he feels at home at camp. and he finally has another adult figure he can look up to in Chiron, and so those good things about Percy's new situation here. And then there's the bad things, which is that there are monsters who are trying to kill
everything
him.
else. Is it better or worse, his situation with his dad? Like, finding out the truth. Is that better or worse?
I am a proponent of the truth. I think that it's always better to know what is up. I don't know. He didn't think he was dead before. The wording was lost at sea.
Yeah, true.
Sally didn't think he was dead, and I can't remember if Percy believed that either. It seemed like he accepted.
Sally knew
yes.
it was Poseidon. So
yes. But I
think... So
she's
not the type to lie.
That he took what she said at face value about the lost. Like, I don't think Percy thought he was dead, but I can't remember.
Yeah. I'm just like, their relationship and like how Poseidon and him are. Yeah, I don't know. It's also not
Percy feels
great.
So betrayed to know that his dad isn't lost. It's that he has purposefully never interacted with him.
He's not allowed to.
Oh, whatever.
Because that would be playing favorites.
Fuck you, man. I don't...
Again, I have
hate
thoughts
the
about
gods.
that when we go into more spoiler territory.
Yeah, we'll get into some of that too. That'll be so fun. Percy has a constant, legitimate fear for his life, which, like someone who has a very unstable life, or someone with extreme depression and suicidal thoughts, he's the kind of person who can't imagine a future for himself because he doesn't know if he'll live to see it. And that breaks my heart. We'll talk about that more a little bit later too, because that is going to come up specifically later, which is fun.
Once you finish your thoughts, I think we should go to the our listeners' thoughts and then go to spoiler things.
Yeah,
because I don't think our listeners said anything spoilery. So
yeah, Percy as a character has a natural hero complex. He feels the need to protect others to his own detriment.
Yeah.
God, I love him. He makes me so sad.
Listen, he's got that protagonist energy without being like just a nothing character.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Like, he has a very defined voice, which is one of my absolute favorite parts of the first series, is his style of narration. It's so good. He's so snarky, he's so fun. He's a real character. Like, not to throw shade on our sister podcast, but Harry Potter is kind of bland.
I mean, it's also not in Harry's voice.
Yes.
It's like third person limited to Harry, I think, most of the time.
Yes.
Yeah, but like, I don't know. There is something when like the voice of the character is there and just, Harry Potter is such a bland protagonist anyway.
Okay,
sometimes.
You can see this through fanfiction specifically.
Yeah.
Harry Potter is one of those protagonists who the fanfiction author will just make up a personality for him. Like, will pick and choose traits that he's had throughout the books to, like, either make a super, like, sad, whoopified version of him or a super sassy version of him, or, like he's a very malleable protagonist where he's not uninteresting necessarily, but he's very projectable.
Percy, he was a basic white boy athlete who then became a cop. He's a very, bland boy. Just a rich asshole.
Percy is the kind of character who is more consistent in fan works because he is very well defined in his tone, in his personality, and he's really, really enjoyable.
I've heard, like, people say, like, at least in the first book, he's got a little bit less personality, but, like, as it keeps going on, he gets, like, a bit more, like, sassier and, like, everything.
I don't know. Like,
I don't know. I don't know about that, but that's what I've heard people say. Where, like, it starts off, he's like, you know, typical protagonist kind of thing. And
but
then
he
gets
always
more
has that
personality.
little bit of snark and
He
voice
does.
and cleverness. I like
I think
him.
that's a bit of Rick. That's definitely something that Rick has in, like, all of his voices that he does, is, like, a little bit of snark, a little bit of fun, because that's just how he likes to write.
And I love that about it.
I love it. So, it's all good. Yeah.
So, yeah, if we're gonna call that good, let's move on to our listener and podcast friends' comments.
Alrighty. Well, first, I'm gonna read our little message we got on Twitter. We got a reply to our tweet from Time Lord Iroh, one of our wonderful patrons. We love her.
Yes, we do.
She's very active in the Discord. So what she said is, he feels like me. Not the brightest. Struggles with lots of issues, ADHD, monsters for him, autism for me. He's always struggling, but always learning and adapting and overcoming. While he has magical powers, he rarely uses them. He relies more on his wits. I like it.
And I, like, that is so nice. He feels like me is one of my favorite things about him.
Yeah?
That Percy is, like, specifically the underdog, neurodivergent protagonist that we've all always dreamed about. Like, as much as he is a well-defined character and person, he's also this point of relatability for people who don't always get that, you know? That he is, like, a delinquent kid who's misunderstood, that he's had these troubles that people won't acknowledge.
Why is he a delinquent? Why is he a delinquent? Because he's got ADHD and dyslexia, and that means the teachers don't like him.
And also that monsters have been attacking him at various schools.
Yeah. But, like, yeah, the monsters, not as important.
Yeah, he's a victim of a system. Whether that system is the shitty public school system or the shitty gods and how bad of parents they are and how they just kind of leave their children to fend for themselves in a world that wants to kill them.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just getting, like, lines from the musical in my head right now.
That is the musical's focus. Yeah.
Like, the first song, the gods are real and they have kids, and those kids have issues.
Yeah, they do. So yeah, thank you for that. I'm so happy, because...
Yeah. Very good. We're just gonna cry in this episode. So our next listener submission is from Christina, the Pod Daddy, the myth, the legend.
Indeed. Thank you, Tina.
We love it.
Hello, this is Christina from the restricted section, and I just wanted to say that Percy is my favorite child. Harry, no. Cadis, gross. Who are some other main characters? Luke, not my guy. But Percy, that's my favorite child. I am the most proud of him. I considered starting this recording by calling him Peter Johnson, but then I decided not to because he's a good boy and he doesn't deserve that. Percy Jackson is the protagonist we all deserve. He's smart and he's funny. I don't know why I said smart first because that's not right. He's funny and he's friendly and he's brave and he's smart, in that order. But basically, I love him so much. Every time I'm like, why doesn't Harry Potter have a personality? I turn around and boom, there's Percy with his whole personality. Just really such a good character. That's my boy. That's my son. Happy birthday, Percy. Thank you for being the protagonist we all deserve.
Oh, good shit.
Good shit. I love that I was just talking about Percy versus Harry, and then Tina comes on like, yeah, no, I agree with you.
Saying all the same shit. That's great. And also, where she was just like, oh yeah, he's smart. Wait, I should say that last. He is smart.
He is. Well, he's clever. He's
so
street smarts.
I was gonna say Percy's like maybe average intelligence, low wisdom. Maybe.
Well, no. I would say Percy is low intelligence, high wisdom. Like his No, he's got no book learning. His perception, his intuition, those are where he's excelling. If we're making Percy D&D stats, like his int is his dump stat, and he's put all his points in whiz.
I got it mixed up. You're right. I got it mixed up. It's fine. I was just like, wait, Annabeth is the wise one here.
Oh, yes. We're using different definitions. Annabeth is wise girl, but I think Percy has a better wisdom stat than Annabeth, actually. Not that she's no slouch.
Wow.
She's got both, which is not the best character build probably, but don't worry about it.
I literally just listened to some people building Annabeth as a character, and they put like so much into her wisdom. They're just like, wow, this is like just wild. This is not how you make a D&D character. And they made her a rogue, and she just had like all the wisdom and like almost no dexterity. And it's like wild. Truly wild. And then our last submission is from Grace, also from the restricted section. We love you, Grace. This is gonna be fun.
Our pod friends.
Aw, our guy. There is so much to love about this character. Percy is funny, loyal, trustworthy. The list goes on. But I think my favorite things about him are that he's also awkward and sarcastic, and at times a bit of a mess. What can I say? We love a relatable protagonist. Happy birthday, Percy.
It's true. It's true. We love a relatable protagonist.
Yes, we do. He's such a good boy. One thing that Grace mentioned that we didn't is how loyal he is. I wasn't even thinking about that. But because Percy has so few people in his life who he can count on, once you are in, you are in. He will die for you.
Oh, yeah. He will.
Like,
Percy is wonderful.
Yeah. Like, I don't even want to say that it's hard for him to make connections, because it's not even that hard. You just have to be decent to him, and then he's like, yeah, with you forever. Like,
yeah, he doesn't have too big of standards. Just be, a nice person.
And it's amazing how much of a dearth he's had of that in his life, that he has so few people. It's horrible.
God, someone needs to give this boy a hug.
Finally, there are people to do it. Well, he does have a good mom. I bet Sally Jackson gives such good hugs.
Oh, she has to.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking of how she smells like sweets, and
Sally is great. We stan. Alrighty. Do we want to move into our more spoilers as we go section?
Yeah. I opened his wiki page and I was like, holy shit, this thing's so fucking long.
Me too, bro. Me too.
We're not going to be able to cover all of this. We're going to have to,
Well, that's not what we have to do here. We just have to talk about the boy. So Percy Jackson, I just want to go through his list of nicknames here, just because this is so funny to me. Son of Poseidon.
Where's Peter Johnson?
It is on there. Supreme Lord of the Bathroom, we cannot forget. Son of Neptune. Seaweed Brain. Kelp Head.
We are already in spoilers, just so y'all know, because
I did say that. We're in our spoilers.
Yeah,
this is all spoilers all the time now. Aquaman, Waterboy. By Blackjack, he's called Boss. I can't wait till we get to Blackjack.
Blackjack. I kind of forgot about Blackjack. Oh my god.
We're only a few chapters from Blackjack. A couple chapters away.
Percy's gonna have Percy gets Blackjack and Mrs. O'Leary. It's gonna be so good.
Okay. There's he has a lot of pets. I mean, he only has 2. There's only one character with more pets than him.
Okay, but we're also, we're gonna make best friends with a sea cow, so that's gonna be great.
That's true. That's true. I did just draw him, and I love Bessie. I don't remember this name, Mr. Rule Flouter. He's called this by Terminus. Okay. Brain Boy by Gabe. Poodle Boy, Peter Johnson, Perry Johansson, Pierre Jorgensen, Pedro Johann. My goodness. Clarice calls him Prissy. Oh my god. Jason Grace called him Captain Saltwater. I love it. Coach Hedge called him Sneaky Jackson. I can't list all these names. Some of them are just like, but like,
okay, I
got
love
the funny ones.
I'm really excited to get into the other series. I really like the Kane siblings. Anyways, it says Carter Kane calls him Camper Boy.
Yeah. I think that's because when he's described in that one, all you can see on his shirt says camp. Like, his shirt is, like, so worn out that you can only see that it says camp. Oh, my goodness. Okay. So, Percy does, in fact, have, like, actual freaking birth date. Like, his date is set in stone. Mm-hmm. So, here it says August 18th, 1993. Is that correct? Yes. I think. I'm like, does that work out with the math in when the books took place? I believe it does. Because, he's 12 in 2005. Yeah. I did spend an extensive amount of time on the timeline section of this wiki, too, at one point. So, yeah. He's born to Poseidon and Sally, are lovely people.
So Percy is 3 years older than me.
He's 4 years older than me.
Holy shit. I mean, so according to his
4
wiki,
years and
he's
1 day.
currently 18.
Okay. Okay, you know what? This is gonna be the episode where I talk about the timeline shit that
oh boy,
messes me up, because otherwise it's gonna be 10 years till I can talk about that. But, so, last Olympian, he has turned 16.
Uh-huh.
And then and he's going into his sophomore year. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because, Battle of the Labyrinth is when he's applying for his freshman year, so that means last Olympian, he's going into his sophomore year. And then Lost Hero happens, and he gets lost, and he is taken away, so he misses, like, more than half of his sophomore year. All of Heroes Olympus happens. He turns 17 by the end of Heroes Olympus. And
Does
then
Heroes of Olympus canonically take place over 1 year?
Not even.
Okay. Hey, what the fuck,
Not
then?
even. Like, it's Lost Heroes in, like, December. Son of Neptune, I think, is in, like, June. And then, like, the rest of it is, like, the next, like, it's, like, throughout the summer.
Oh. Huh.
Yeah, it's fucking wild.
Damn. That's really interesting.
And, like, I think
first
the
series takes,
last
like,
book
5
is, like,
years.
August. I think the last book is, like, August.
Well, no.
very
That's
latest.
stupid of me. It doesn't take 5 years. It takes
It's 4
4
years.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because,
It's not stupid of you.
God. Okay.
No,
so,
everyone forgets Titan's Curse is, like, the one in the middle. So
yes,
that's fine.
because it's taking place in winter now, so we're gonna have two more summers after this. That makes sense.
So you with me here? End of Heroes Olympus. He's 17. Okay. He has missed his sophomore year. He would be going into his junior year, but he's missed his sophomore year.
Okay.
And then when we meet him again in Hidden Oracle, which is the Trials of Apollo books, him and Annabeth are already talking about college and, like, going to college. They're in their senior year now.
Okay.
And he is apparently 18. Rick Riordan missed an entire year. Hidden Oracle is, like, in January. The January after Heroes Olympus. This math doesn't make sense.
Well, maybe he just was able to get his studies back on track. Maybe Percy Jackson skipped a year of school? Could that be possible? Could he do that?
Make up a year of school and skip a year. He would have had to do both of those things.
Is he going to, like, canonically, do you know for a fact he's in his senior year? Because it's possible he could get a GED.
I believe he's in his senior year at that point, because at the end of Trials of Apollo takes place in, like, a 6-month period again, I think. Because by the end of it, he goes to New Rome and he's at college.
Okay. Huh.
So,
but the ages do match up, right? It's just the school year that's off? Or am I mean,
they also keep saying he's 18, I think. It seems like they just all skipped a year. Like, everybody, I think even Nico's age is, like, weirdly aged up, because I think he should have been, like, 14, and now he's, like, 15.
So they're...
Rick just messed up the ages.
Okay. He just, like, was like, I feel like a year should have passed here, but I won't actually make that canon.
In my brain, I'm just like, I just have the ages be the way they are, and Percy got his GED. Like, I don't know. I really don't know. Anyway, I just needed to go off on this rant for a minute because we're talking spoilers.
I'm like, not even actually conceptualizing what you're saying to me, so I'm just gonna take your word for it.
I can always just make this a visual timeline to also fuck with you. Because I visualize it in my brain.
Next time we have a PowerPoint party, you can make a PowerPoint on the Percy Jackson timeline.
I'll be like, this makes no fucking sense, guys. I'm literally that guy from It's Always Sunny. That's it. His name is Charlie, right? Isn't that true?
Yeah, it is. I don't know that you want to be that Charlie.
I know nothing about him except for that one thing.
He's Catholic and homosexual. And that's all I know about Charlie. It's Always Sunny. And also, he's the really, really dumb one. I've seen, like, 2 episodes of that show.
Some of those things are right. Alright,
okay.
Alright. Percy, our boy.
Do you want to go in, like, an order of sorts, or should we just, like, get on it?
I have no order of sorts here, unless you want to, like, talk about... I don't know, this wiki is so fucking long, man!
Yeah, it's really, really long. Okay, well, let's not even, like, look through it too much. Let's just, like... But we could go in, like, book order. So like, Titan's Curse. What do we get from Percy? He gets a horse. It's very nice.
He gets a horse. He's sad about Annabeth. I'm sorry. This is his angst book.
Yeah.
We're in his angst book this time, I think.
Yeah,
Am I
for
wrong?
real. It's gonna get so harsh, guys.
It's good shit. Wait, can we talk about, like, the magical items that he gets?
Sure.
I just realized that's also a thing that is on here. That I can look at a list to talk about things. Well, why does he have so many fucking powers?
I'm sure he only uses several of them once.
Oh my goodness. Okay, Percy. He's got his fucking sword. His wicked, awesome fucking sword that turns into a pen.
Indeed. Very good first magic item.
Bro.
Yeah?
I don't remember how much you've read of Heroes of Olympus.
I read 4 books.
So you know that the pen can write.
I forgot that.
That is my favorite fact about it. I'm just like, they fucked things up in the Percy Jackson movies for no other reason other than the pen is clickable. So that means that in that universe, the pen can't write. It's my favorite fact. You put the pen on the other side and you can just write with it. The fact that
so
Percy
funny.
didn't think about that and Annabeth was just like, hey Percy, have you ever tried this?
Oh my god.
List the Minotaur's horn here. My sweet boy, killed the Minotaur on that fateful night.
Yeah, and then he got to keep a memory of that trauma forever.
Don't you all want to keep a memory of your trauma?
Of that time that your mom died?
Got kidnapped by an underworld god. You know,
same
that
difference.
time. Yeah, same difference.
She got better.
Oh, this says he used a javelin in the chariot race? I don't remember that.
Yeah,
but all right.
Tyson made them some cool javelins that had some abilities. They, like, exploded.
Good shit. Okay, he's got some cool armor. Why are the winged shoes on here? Percy?
Well, that was a magic item. He had
It's a magic item, but he didn't use them.
He never used them, it's true.
Unless you're talking about the movie. It does say in the movie. Okay. Percy and his fear of flying. That That gets me.
Well,
That's something
I don't
him
know
and
that
Thalia
he had
have
a
in
fear of
common.
it until they told him that Zeus would smite him from the sky.
Well, he also never went on the plane before.
Well, I think that was because his
Until-
mom knew, and also,
Yeah.
where was he gonna go?
That's fair. They
I-
were poor.
Yeah. I don't know that he ever really traveled, like, at all. I think he mostly stayed in New York as a kid.
Imagine Percy and Sally going on just, like, trips. Like,
We know that they went
renting
to
an
the
RV,
beach.
or camper or something. Or wait, just going camping.
Yeah.
Percy and Sally
aw.
they would go camping.
Yeah, they would love that.
Oh, we got Medusa's head on here.
That's a good magic item, if you want to call a corpse an item.
It's fine. They had to replay the Medusa myth, but also, he really didn't have to do that.
Sorry, I just found the area that you're in with abilities and tools, and I love that his first listed ability is ADHD.
It's
the
true.
second one is
It is.
dyslexia.
Yeah.
I know that in the fiction of the world, those are technically abilities that demigods have. For me, that one's a disability, but
It's
Percy's
got the
like-
ability word in it.
Percy's like, rip to you, but I'm different.
He is, though. He really is. Okay, Poseidon's pearls, the fucking multivitamins. God, I wish they had more of those. Those would be
yeah, that
helpful,
was
like,
good.
all the freaking time. Okay, we already talked about this recently, but, like, the wristwatch.
Oh,
Again.
yeah.
He does get it back, because Tyson
Good.
fixes it. But again, he throws it at a monster, and then it's gone forever.
And yet he still has that fucking horn, but he can't keep one nice thing that his brother made him.
Your brother made you that. You have to keep it forever. Tyson, best brother. Okay. The Nemean lion's pelt, he's gonna get that. And we're gonna talk about that. And I'm just gonna be like, man, wish you could have kept that. Actually.
Yep. That pelt was kind of fucking cool, wasn't it? Doesn't it, like, turn into, like,
Yeah.
a cool jacket?
Okay, I did look this up at one point. If you go to the page, I think it says what it turns into. It turns into, yeah, a full-length golden brown duster. It turns into a duster jacket.
That's not actually a very cool jacket unless you're, like, a private investigator from the 1930s.
Okay, that's a cool jacket to me, specifically. Maybe not to Percy.
Didn't the golden fleece turn into, like, a Letterman? Like,
Yeah, it did.
why is the fleece, like, a cooler jacket than
Okay,
lion
that's
pelt?
because they have different vibes. They're different magical items. They have their own personalities. And the dog whistle for Mrs. O'Leary, I wish that dog whistle had been in existence forever, because God, Mrs. O'Leary, you always need to be able to summon her in times of
we
great
need
need.
a puppy.
A gigantic puppy that can, like, kill you and is as big as a house.
It's interesting how we treat
She's
monsters
bigger?
in this series. We're talking about Percy right now, but, like, it's interesting that we have monsters that are sympathetic,
yeah.
and then otherwise we're just, like, killing them indiscriminately.
I
But-
just love her because she's bigger than the apartment that they live in.
Oh God.
It's great. Oh yeah, that sand dollar that Poseidon gives Percy for his birthday. This'll be a tool to help you later. Thanks, Dad.
Wow, a sand dollar. This is great.
This is great, Dad. Real great. Again, okay, I'm gonna talk about that scene when Poseidon gives that to him. He literally tells Percy, "You're my favorite son." Tyson is in the next room.
Oh my God.
Tyson has super hearing.
Fuck, man. It's fine.
Also, you're literally not supposed to play favorites. Why are you telling him this?
He has so many children. He's got the Cyclopes. He's got, like, godly children. Like,
He's got fucking Triton, the dude that has 2 merman tails.
yeah. Hey, Poseidon, you're a bad dad.
Poseidon fucking sucks.
I like him in the series, to be honest, but it's a bad call.
I mean, how about this? He's better than he is in the mythology.
I know,
but that
know.
isn't saying much.
I know real Poseidon's a shit. They're like we've said before, though. Every Greek god is bad. Gods are bad.
Hey, he's watered down. You're welcome.
But I like his dad vibes in the series. You know, he seems
he's
like
he's got real deadbeat dad vibes.
He does, and I don't know. I think it's interesting. It's whatever.
Yeah, I know. I understand. Yeah, Percy, good boy, Percy. I just don't know what to talk about. That's the only issue here. So I'm like,
I've got shit that I want to talk about.
Okay,
like the fact that I just saw in these random notes that Percy claims to have never gotten a grade higher than a C- in The Lightning Thief. However, in the Ultimate Guide, his report card gives him a B- in science.
Oh my god, is that like under the trivia?
I think so.
That is one of my favorite things.
So, important character shit about Percy. The end of this series is so incredible. Percy's choice, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Do you want to become a god? No.
No, I want y'all to be better parents. Holy shit. This series
Pay your
is
child
so
support.
good. This is a series about family, and the fact that we end it with Percy saying, no, the system can't continue to be like this. We have to improve it. You have to choose right now to make it better. Here are my demands. You're going to meet them because you just said you would give me whatever I wanted. And yeah, Percy makes life better for every single demigod. Like, he changes the fickle nature of, like, immortal beings out of his sheer will.
But also, spoilers, he really doesn't. Like, he really tried. Like, that was his goal. The problem is plot.
Yeah, well, that's what happens when you gotta keep writing more books.
Yeah.
Still, like, oh my god, this kid, he's incredible. I love him.
But also, the gods were like, hey, do you want to be a god? And he looks over at Annabeth and he's like, nah, I want to be immortal.
Just like the Hercules Disney film.
Literally, that's what it is. Same vibes.
Sea of Neptune is fascinating. I love...
Sea of Neptune?
A Son of Neptune. God damn it. Fucking shit.
When Percy doesn't remember who he is, but the only thing he remembers is Annabeth.
Percy and Annabeth have the perfect vibes. Like, bye for bye, snarky, but the most supportive couple on the planet. Like rivals
to them. Friends to besties to lovers.
It's so good. It's delightful.
Pining for literal years.
Oh my god.
Because they're both idiots.
Incredible. Iconic.
Like, when you get Annabeth's perspective in Mark of Athena, she's like, yeah, I've had a crush on him since I was 12.
Good. And you do get those vibes, but also, you know, they're like 12 and they're doing shit. You know, it's not like they were going to get into a relationship at that point. You know, even
also,
if they had, like, talked about it or whatever.
She was still hung up on the Athena versus Poseidon thing at that point.
By the end of that book, I feel like she's pretty much over that, but she's also still hung up on Luke. Like, yeah. They got shit going on otherwise, and also they're 12.
There's a lot of things.
But who wouldn't have a crush on Percy Jackson? I like to believe that everyone in the series just has a little bit of a crush on Percy Jackson, especially as he gets older.
I mean, I've seen the fan art of, like, Percy with, like, everyone who's had a crush on him, and they're, like, all pulling him in different directions. We got Annabeth, we got Rachel, we got Calypso, we've got Raina, we've got Nico.
Yeah.
And
I think it's just natural. I think if you just spend enough time in Percy Jackson's presence, you're like, I have a little bit of a crush on him.
Yeah. The bro vibes between Percy and Jason.
Yeah. Bro.
Bro. Oh, they literally say it at one point.
Okay. The other thing that I wanted to talk about in Son of Neptune, or like when he makes it to the Roman camp and he sees that college exists for demigods.
He's
oh
just
my
like,
God. And he's like, I never thought I would live to go to college. I've never seen a place where that could be safe for me. This is a future that I've never imagined for myself. And how hopeful he is. It hits so hard. Anyways, that's like one of my other like biggest Percy moments.
Okay. On top of that, in House of Hades, when they finally fall down into Tartarus and they're like in one of the rivers, and it's just making them like want to like sink down and like give up and everything, and like Annabeth is like holding on to Percy. She's just like, Percy, think about our future. What were those things you saw in New Rome? What were your plans for us?
Oh my God.
And like she's holding on.
Oh my God. That I'm going insane. Like, that is so incredible. How much hope that gives him, and the fact that she can see how much hope that gives him, and that's a future that they can imagine together. That
He didn't even remember her, and he was just like, you know what? What if I had a future with like this girl, and like we went to these coffee shops, and like, oh, you can have children here, and like have families, and like you don't have to die. Like, this boy,
wow,
he had hope. He was given hope. You know, okay, so I'm still trying to read the end of Trials of Apollo. I mean, I know what happens, but like, I just read like the couple of chapters where we meet Percy's little sister.
Oh, wow!
Sally and Paul had
Good
a baby.
For them.
Her name is Estelle, and she is so fucking cute. And I could just get that from the descriptions.
Good.
And they're just like, they're the cutest family. Like, Apollo goes there and he's just like, yeah, I need these vibes, and like Sally's like bean dip or whatever. I just need these homie vibes right now to help me.
I'm so glad that Sally meets Paul Blowfist. That's so funny.
We will talk about Paul and my feelings. God, I love that man. Also,
Good.
You know he's a self-insert for Rick, right?
I didn't know that. That's so funny.
He's definitely he is, and Sally's got to be like the insert for his wife.
Oh, that's really sweet. But also the idea that Rick was like, damn, I can't believe I didn't give this boy any parents. I guess I'll have to do it.
I mean, Percy is based on his son, so
yeah. Oh,
yeah. So like,
that's really sweet.
Just thinking. We never actually get any scenes with Percy and Estelle, but just, like, thinking about Percy as a big brother.
Yeah.
Yeah. He would be so good. And one of the things that you also see in those chapters is, like, Percy's already left for, like, New Rome University. And, like, you see a picture of, like, him and Annabeth and Grover, like, they're going on the road trip, like, picture saying goodbye. And just the description is like, wow, Percy's just like, he looks so happy that he finally graduated high school. Like, finally. He's out, suckers. It's just so good. Love that boy.
Yeah, in conclusion, love that boy. I want to see more of him. Like, I love thinking about, like, older teen and adult Percy. Like, I want more of this boy forever.
Okay. I said I was going to talk about it, but can I talk about the Percy Luke thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So Percy would have become Luke if he hadn't had Sally, because what did Luke not have? He didn't actually, like, really have his mom. His mom was there, but when we meet her in Last Olympian, you can just see that, like, she just wasn't mentally there at all. She wasn't a support system that Luke needed. And that's why he ran away.
If I remember
so young.
correctly, didn't he, before leaving, sort of have to take care of her quite a lot?
I think it's implied that he did.
Mm-hmm.
And just, like, he finds out, like, this is all... I mean, it's not actually Hermes' fault.
But
also...
Like,
you would blame Hermes. You
Yeah,
blame the gods.
well, because that's...
this
it's
horrible
not
thing
even the
happened.
fact that it's a god. It's the fact that it's your dad, and he's not there for you. And he's not there for your mom, who he claims to have loved, when she needs someone.
She had, like, a whole altar to Hermes and everything, too. Like,
oh, God.
so there's, like, a flashback before that where, like, you see before she goes completely bonkers, where, like, her and Hermes are together and with baby Luke, and it's like,
Oh.
you know, if she hadn't tried to take on the Oracle burden, I feel like Hermes might have been not so bad. Maybe. At least maybe, you know, as good as a godly parent could be.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, he would have had a support system. He would have maybe had Hermes, you know, answering his mom's prayers. I don't know. It's just, he didn't have the support system is, like, the biggest thing about it. And it's like, if Percy had actually lost Sally in the first book, maybe he would have gone down that route too, because it was the gods that caused that.
Yeah, 100%. Percy resented his dad so much in the first book. Like, actively, personally, he was like, this person sees me as a tool, and the only thing that's, like, pushing me forwards is knowing that I can save my mom. Yeah.
Yeah, and Luke doesn't have that to push him forward because he can't.
But at the same time, I can't see Percy, like, because he also grew up with that mom who instilled such values into him. You know, he wouldn't become the kind of person who would try to end the fucking world and, like, cause the death of other kids.
He might not have been as bad as Luke, but he still might have, like, gone down, like, a darker
Well,
path.
if he hadn't, one, been raised by his mother, and two, if he had actually lost her, like, he would have gone down a much darker path, I'm sure. Like, not the same as Luke, but, yeah, he would not be sacrificing to the gods at Camp Half-Blood like a good little boy.
Yeah. Ugh, Percy fucking Jackson, man. Okay. What do you think Percy would do in his adult life?
I guess it's also hard for me to imagine, because I don't know what most demigods do in New Rome. Like, you know, we're talking about college and families, but what kind of jobs do they even have over there?
I mean,
You know?
would he stay in New Rome forever? Do you think he would?
And I also can't imagine that very much. Like, I bet that college is a great respite for him. You know, I can imagine that time being like college always is. You know, you're surrounded by your peers and it doesn't feel like the real world. But Percy's gonna want to be in the real world. And Annabeth is too. You know, she's gonna be an architect. Like, we know that for certain. Like,
I mean, she's definitely gonna build some shit for New Rome. But, like, I don't know. I like thinking about maybe the two of them having some place where, you know, it's as homey as, like, when Apollo goes to Sally's, where, like, demigods can, like, come to on their quests.
Oh, I love that.
Like, Percy helping, quote-unquote, troubled kids that are actually demigods.
And maybe that's, you know, maybe he just goes back to Camp Half-Blood. Maybe he becomes another camp counselor. They certainly need good people there. Like,
you know, Chiron is only alive as long as he is needed. What if someday he's not needed because demigods can, like...
Because demigods step up. Because they start growing up again. Because the world's getting better for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe if there are other generations of demigods who can help them, maybe they won't need a centuries-old centaur.
Okay, here we go. Percy replaces Chiron. Chiron gracefully dies. Sorry, Chiron. And then Annabeth fully redesigns the camp. Because that's what she would do. And also, in Heroes of Olympus, there are kind of some plans in place for some of that stuff. Anyway.
Are there? Okay. Because
we need
that
more
camp
cabins.
is camp. I like that it's cabins. You know, I don't want it to be a city like New Rome. I want Annabeth to be doing designs in New Rome. I want them to be constantly going back and forth. Then they can't fly, so they're probably like sailing over like the Panama Canal. Like,
okay, what we need is the labyrinth still technically exists, as we find out later. So like what we need is like a labyrinth thing that leads from Camp Half-Blood to New Rome. Like someone to navigate that shit. I think Hazel could do it.
I like that. Like a railway that just goes through the labyrinth.
Yeah.
That just Yeah.
But like
bends space for demigods.
In like the end of Heroes of Olympus and like beginning of Trials of Apollo, Jason is like designing some stuff for Camp Half-Blood and New Rome for like more places for like the minor gods to be like honored and other things. Like I feel like Annabeth would help carry that out because I mean Jason designed some of that. He's not really an architect, she is.
Indeed.
So, and also like Jason couldn't do it. Someone has to. Spoilers, Jason.
Oh dear.
Anyway, I was trying to end it on a high note of like, what do you think Percy would do?
Yeah, I can imagine him working with kids. I can imagine him, because it's like, what are Percy's skills? And Percy's skills are fighting monsters and sailing.
I love the fact that, okay, so in I think Blood of Olympus, Annabeth's just like, you wanna like go for, or is it Blood of, whatever book. Annabeth's like, do you wanna get a degree in like marine studies or something like that? And he's like, surfing? Can I do that instead? And I'm just like,
Percy could be a surf champion if he wanted to.
I mean, he already
no
is
one
a
could
skater
stop
boy.
him.
We
Exactly.
know he's a skater boy, so he could be a surf boy too. All the boards, actually.
I love that
just
for
every
him.
board.
That's really funny. You can do whatever you want to, Percy. I believe in you.
Yeah, Percy's just great. Okay. I don't know what else to say about him.
I don't know. Percy is the kind of guy where I have trouble imagining him in a career. I imagine him having a lot of hobbies, and some of them are lucrative and some of them aren't. And so maybe Annabeth is just the breadwinner of the home.
I was gonna say
and
he's
Percy's
the trophy
just, like,
husband.
doing a bunch of shit.
He is a trophy husband. I mean, like, he's gonna run Camp Half-Blood, but he's also a trophy husband.
Yeah.
At the same time, because Annabeth really runs the shit.
Maybe Chiron still works at camp and Percy's a summer counselor for when there are more kids there. Maybe that's Percy's summer activity, and then they, like, sail to the southern hemisphere and go to surfing competitions.
Oh my goodness.
You know what I'm saying? Like, they could do anything they want.
Yeah. You know, there's actually so many weird, like, fanfics that, and, like, people having headcanons about Dark Percy and all of that. I'm just like...
What? No. That's my sweet boy.
Because of that, like, one scene in House of Hades where he nearly kills a goddess.
Percy can kill if he wants to. I support him, but I believe that he wowould have a good reason.
Hey, Ray, you know his name means to destroy, right?
Percy destroys, our
hearts.
Percy destroys toxic masculinity. He destroys systems that do not serve. He destroys things that do not spark joy.
This is the note we must end on. Percy destroys toxic masculinity. I support this. Perseus Jackson. We stand the boy. We love him.
Happy birthday, son. This is our gift to you, I guess.
I hope I made some blue food. That's the plan. If I have time, I'm gonna make some fucking blue food.
I think I've got, like, some food coloring. I could make, like, blue pancakes or something. Like, it sounds nice.
I made some, like, blue raspberry cupcakes before on Percy's birthday. It's been good.
Nice. All right. Y'all enjoy your Percy Jackson holiday. I hope you have some blue food, and I hope you enjoy listening to this episode.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna go make some plans for some blue food. Get out of my fucking cabin now, Ray.
Is it because I'm sick?
Yes. Yes, it is. Shit, we didn't do plugs.
Oh, shit! Let's go, rewind!
Rewind!
Reverse!
Do you have a plug, Charlie?
Yes. God. So my plug is a podcast that I've, binged, and also binged all their bonus content, because, yes. I'm very obsessed with, they're now called Muses of Mythology, the podcast formerly known as Podcast of Poseidon. They do similar to what we do, except less chapter by chapter and more just the myths.
Oh, that's fun!
Yeah.
So it's like the... in case you mythed it, but without the entire close reading that we that we end up doing. Our episodes are so long, guys. I'm so sorry. When we're talking about 20 pages of a children's book.
I have to talk about... It's the ADHD. I have to talk about everything.
I hope that other ADHD people are also just want to think about Percy Jackson for hours.
Do y'all want to think about Percy Jackson? Because we just talked about him for an hour and a half. Oh my goodness. Yeah, so I've been loving that podcast recently, Muses of Mythology. They're very fun.
Good. This episode is already too long, so I probably shouldn't even get into it, but because I have another hyperfixation again. It's another horror podcast. I also binged a podcast recently. Malevolent? Holy fucking shit. Oh my god, it's so good, guys. I have been obsessing. Okay. It's another audio drama. It's a horror podcast. It's about this guy who is a private investigator who wakes up one day with a voice in his head. He has gone blind, and the voice in his head now has control of his eyes. Yes. So he is being possessed by something that now has taken over his eyes, and so he can't see, but this thing in him that also has no idea what's going on can. This extremely suspicious thing in his head. And I don't even know how much more I can say than that, because I think that this podcast is best without knowing anything about the plot or the characters. I can't even tell you one of the characters' names because that would be a spoiler.
Okay, then.
He doesn't pick one until a few episodes in. But it's so genius because one of the characters has a reason to narrate everything around them to the other character. So, he's like, to your left, there's blah, 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 and then, yes, reach right over there, and then you'll be able to do this. Because, he can't see anything. He has just recently gone blind.
Oh my goodness.
And so they're trying to, do stuff. And everything is going wrong constantly. I recently had the brain blast that the experience of listening to Malevolent is just like that song by Rob Cantor, the Shia LaBeouf song, where he's a cannibal and he's attacking you in the woods. It's just like that, except imagine if you were blind and that was happening to you all the time, just constantly running into people like that, and you have no idea why. And also the voice in your head keeps going, Jesus Christ, Arthur.
The fucking hell.
It's so good. Not to spoil anything, but I love them both so much. I would like to study Arthur in a petri dish. Why is he like this? You start off thinking that he is the normal one, and then he's like, I think we should kill this maintenance man. And the, like, demon or whatever in his brain is like, we don't actually have to do that.
Wow. It's fine.
Yeah. I shouldn't admit this to you all either, but body sharing is my favorite trope. Like,
I feel like I saw you say that recently.
Yeah. It is a very specific type of fictional intimacy that I find absolutely fascinating. And this show is really interesting with it. Like, they do a very interesting job with, like, pronouns. Like, they very quickly start referring, like, the thing in his head will be like, turn your head this way. You can see your eyes. Like he will frequently, but then he'll also say, like, we're in trouble, or our body. And Arthur also quickly starts saying we and our. And it's really fascinating that they do that. Like, they're very symbiotic very quickly. And I eat that up. I think that's so interesting.
Hey, bro, we'll get to body sharing when we get to the next series. Kane.
Yep, I love that shit. Yeah. I should stop talking now.
Oh my god, let's do that redo of the end of this podcast, because I gotta redo it.
Okay.
Oh my god. Well, I'm gonna go eat some blue food, I guess, and think more about Percy Jackson for the next couple hours. Get out of my fucking cabin with your sickness.
God damn, bro, again? You can follow the podcast socials at Of the Eldest Gods Pod on Instagram and at Of the Eldest Gods on Twitter. You can send an iris message to us through oftheeldestgodspod@gmail.com. If you'd like to support us financially, go to patreon.com/oftheeldestgods. By becoming a patron, you can join the Movie Night Crew Network server, where you get to chat with us and hear some no-context spoilers about episodes we are recording. I personally recommend the $5 tier, where you get access to Against All Odds, our bonus show where we talk about basically anything vaguely related to mythology, Percy Jackson, or whatever we like. We also have a merch store on TeePublic, where all our designs are made by Charlie. Or if you cannot support us financially, please give us a review on iTunes and rate us on Spotify to help others know how much you love this podcast. You can follow me, Ray, at HeyHeyRay on Twitter. I also have another podcast called Barbie Movie Slap, where my co-host Ted and I talk about the Barbie cinematic universe. You can check out that podcast Twitter at Barbie Slaps.
You can follow me, Charlie, at GreenPixie12 on most platforms, but on Twitter, I'm at GreenPixie123, which I'm totally not salty about. I also have an art Instagram that I sometimes use at GreenPixieDraws. I sometimes do the YouTube thing on my channel, Charlie Mack, that's MACK, and I also have another podcast on the network called Fandoms Gone Wrong, where my mom and I talk about movies, TV shows, books, whatever other fandoms we enjoy. You can find that on all the major podcasting apps. Our music was written by Isabel Strauss-Riggs and recorded and edited by Ian M. Riggs. You can find Izzy at Kane_I, that's I as in the body part, on Instagram and Twitter. She also currently makes video essays on the YouTube channel Kane I. Feel free to message her about making music for your project or editing your podcast. Of the Eldest Gods is proud to be part of the Movie Night Crew Network, which features great podcasts like The Restricted Section, a chapter-by-chapter Harry Potter pod with lots of spoilers all the time.
What's up, potheads? We're the Restricted Section, a raunchy, rowdy, rambling, unabashedly pro-trans rights Harry Potter book club podcast hosted by a bunch of nihilistic millennial assholes who are desperately clinging to childhood fantasy as a way to escape the monotony of our 9-to-5 work culture and the inevitable extinction of the human race at our own hands. Isn't it wild that this book series was spontaneously created by the gods and has no actual author? The Restricted Section features a bunch of nerds with potty mouths rereading the Harry Potter series for what has to be like the 3rd to 20th time, and discussing the way the story and its themes have stayed with each and every one of us into our adulthood. We would love for you to join us every Wednesday wherever pods are cast.
Of the Eldest Gods is based on the series by Rick Riordan. Right now we are discussing Percy Jackson and the Olympians. Remember to follow us on your favorite podcatcher and meet us back here every Thursday. Sorry for dying.
Don't be sorry. I mean, you should be sorry. Don't die on me.
That movie sucked.
I kind of liked it.
Movie Night Crew Network.